Today we're going to show you how to change the water inlet valve on your refrigerator, and it's a really easy job. All we're going to need is a 1/4-inch nut driver, a sharp utility knife, and maybe a pair of needle nose pliers. Let me show you how we do it. Before we begin this repair, we will need to disconnect power to the refrigerator, so if you can pull it forward far enough to disconnect the plug or locate the breaker and turn the power off at that source. And we'll also want to turn off the inlet water supply to the refrigerator so that we can do the repair. Now that we have access to the back of the refrigerator, we're next going to disconnect the inlet supply to the valve. And then we're going to remove these 1/4-inch hex head screws. There's 3 of them on that silver colored plate, and then 2 on the end of this plate that we'll need to remove so we can get the valve out. You can now slide that mounting plate a little bit to the left to disengage this edge. And you can rotate it around. We should be able to remove that wire harness by hand, but if not, you can use your needle nose pliers. Now then we have one more 1/4-inch hex head screw in behind this tubing that holds the valve to that mounting plate. So remove that screw. Now to remove the valve from the bracket, we're just going to lift up on it slightly, and that will disengage a little tab right over in the bottom left-hand corner. Once that clears, we can pull the valve, tilt it and pull it out through the back. Just rotate the valve around, disconnect it from the outlet. Just compress that collar, pressing it right into the valve, and pull the tubing away. And then pull it through the guide tube and discard that old valve. We'll take the sharp utility knife. We're going to cut that tubing, get a nice square cut. Check to make sure there are no burrs on that tubing. I'll feed that through the guide tube on the new valve, line it up with the outlet, and fully insert it into the valve and pull back on it to make sure that it's locked into place, and take up the slack. Insert that into the bracket with the solenoid first, and pull it up enough that the little tab will clear on the bottom, and slide it down until it locks into position in the bottom. And make sure that we use the machine screw to secure that valve to the bracket, and then tighten that securely, and just rotate that around. Reconnect the wire harness connector. Make sure it's fully inserted onto the solenoid. And we're going to tuck that right-hand edge of the bracket in behind the back panel and insert it far enough that the screw holes line up. And then we'll reconnect the supply to the inlet and tighten it securely, and then we can turn that water supply on just to check for any leaks. And once we verify that we have no leaks, we can push the refrigerator back into position, taking care not to kink the tubing going to the inlet, and then we'll prepare to turn the power back on.